welcome to the Room of Rock with Ted and I. Now this time in the Room of Rock we're going to be having a look at and giving you a little bit of a review of our compact boom microphone stand. We were in the market for a small boom microphone stand for miking up things like small combos, speaker cabinets, and it'll do kick drums, snare drums, anything where you don't need a great deal of height. And I think we've come across a rather good one and we thought we'd share that with you. So if that's something you're in the market for or something that might interest you, stick around. Well, if you like what we do in the Room of Rock, please think about giving us the old thumbs up or maybe even subscribing. It means a lot to us, means a lot to young Teddy boy there. He's determined that with lockdown now, he'll be able to get the jump on Sooty and become more famous. I think it's a big ask, but you can't tell him anything, as you know. What I've done here is I've put the small compact boom stand just on top of the cabinet at the moment, just so you can see this is the boom stand I normally use for miking up the amp, and this is a small but full-sized boom microphone stand, and whilst I can get it down low enough, as you can see, it is quite cumbersome, and it does tend to get in the way. And what you find is when you're doing anything like this at home, space always becomes a premium. You always seem to end up with a ton more leads everywhere than you expect, and you're tripping over everything. So anything you can do that keeps your footprint to a smaller size makes a lot of sense and is more helpful, you know, in the home recording environment. So as I say, this is not a full-sized one. It's a smaller full-sized boom stand. So, but even so, it's a lot more bulky than the compact one that I want to talk about. But I just thought this would give you an idea of size comparison. So what do you get with the microphone? Well, you get a cast metal base. So that base it's nice and weighty, and that's a solid lump of cast metal. Tip it up a bit, but it's got a nice small footprint, so it's not taking up a lot of space. You've got some cable clips just to keep your cables out of the way. And the thing that I think is clever with this is, as you can see, it comes with a microphone clip, so you can pop in your microphone like that. But it's got a quick release cam on it. So you undo that, then that comes off to reveal a thread so that you can then put on, if you've got a bespoke clip for any particular microphone you've bought, you can use that. If not, you use this ordinary sort of clamp, sort of universal style one. So that goes on and then you just clip that like that, and then you can obviously adjust that as you see fit. The other thing, you've got an adjuster here, so this is extendable if you need. A lock nut here so you can adjust the height, and then you've got another grub screw at the back so you can alter the pivot point of the boom to get more counterbalance on the back of the boom. Now the other thing that I think is clever with this, and the thing that made me decide that I'd share it with you, is on here there's another quick release. So you quick release that, and then you straight away got a small stand that you can discard the boom arm, put that down there, drop that on there and lock it, and then you've got a small straight stand. So it's very quickly convertible, and it's, you know, nice and robust. So you can go from that, if you've got a, you know, I think that would be a bit big on my speaker cabinet, that'd still be a little bit too high. But you can go from that scenario to that scenario very quickly and very easily. And the other thing, when you remove the boom arm, again you've got a thread to take a standard microphone clip. so you don't have to use the quick release one again. You can screw your own one on there if you wanted to do something else. So just push that on, pull the cam up, and then there you go, you're all set. And this will go, as I mentioned, it'll go high enough that you can record if you were seated and wanted to record acoustic instrument, a guitar, your banjo, ukulele. You can use this, and I use this in the Stinky Pete video where you see a couple of microphones in an XY position. That was attached to this, so that was what that was used for, and it's down out of the way. So I'll pop it in front of the cabinet so you can get a better look of how it looks in front of a speaker cabinet and how little space it actually takes up. But it's nice, and you know, it's got a feel of quality about it, you know, and a bit of weight behind it. It's not, you know, flimsy at all, and it seems to do the job very nicely, and it has got a fairly small footprint, so it's not going to take up a lot of space in your home studio or in your YouTube room, whatever you're doing. So here you can see a setup where it's set up in front of what is my Fender bass amp, but again, it's not taking up a lot of space at all. You haven't got the big tripod legs sticking out. And as I say, if you wanted to turn this into an ordinary straight microphone stand, it's easy enough to do using the two quick release clips, you know, and you can move it, say it's on that cab. Now the Marshall's smaller, so if I move back a bit here, so you drop it there, you just want to bring that down a bit, maybe get it somewhere on the centre of the cone. As I say, there you go, it's on the grill, very quick to move around, and it's taking up very little space. So I think, you know, if you're looking for a small boom stand, this Hercules one I think is particularly good. I got it from a music store, and I always think if you buy from a music store, they're more likely to be researching what they sell better, because they don't want all the returns. Some of the online vendors, it doesn't matter to them, they're kind of third-party sellers anyway, so if it's going back or whatever, they're not too worried about that. But there you go, so from one over to the other, adjust the height or whatever very quickly, or adjust it up and down. As I say, if you wanted to swap over and take away the boom, unclip the clip there, lift it off, either screw something onto there or unclip that, and then just drop that on there and lock it up. I mean, obviously that's a little bit high for that, but if you were maybe under a snare drum or on a, you know, a 4x12 cabinet, that might be getting nearer where you need to be. So again, to convert, unlock, drop on, lock up, very simple, very quick, and you know, robust enough for the job. So I've moved the camera in a little bit closer so I can just show you the quick release mechanisms. So you've got a little catch at the back there, you drop that down, and this is all metal, this bit, and here this is all metal. So as I say, you've got a thread there, you could put an ordinary microphone clip on, or the one that's come with your particular microphone, or if you're using the universal one, just drop it on, push the cam round, and that's that locked on, nice and secure. So I think, you know, that little bit of versatility on its own makes it worth considering if you are looking for something for this kind of application. So, and then lock, and lock. There you go. And as I say, you can extend this. This comes in and out. So I think all in all, a well made, well thought out piece of kit. And it's simple things like this that make the job of recording and that a little bit more straightforward. Here I've got it set up with two microphones on an XY bar, two pencil condensers, just so you can get an idea. I'll try and turn that round a little bit, just so you can see it'll do that as well, using the microphone thread. Now this shows that it can be used with a large diaphragm condenser microphone. Whilst not possibly the best microphone for this application, at least it shows it can take the weight of what is a fairly weighty microphone, and it's still nice and, you know, rigid. It doesn't want to topple over. You know, that's pretty rigid there. Well, I hope you found that both interesting and informative, and if you are in the market for a small boom microphone stand, I think the Hercules one here is certainly one worth considering. I think it's well made. I paid about £35 for it. I got it from GAK, Guitar Amps Keyboards, down in Brighton, and I think it'll last, which is good, which is what we want. These kind of things, you know, whilst they might not be particularly exciting, they are the kind of thing that makes the job a lot easier if you've got a piece of kit you can rely on when you're trying to get the job done and get the sound you want nailed. Anyway, we'll see you again soon in the Room of Rock with Ted and I.